Alright guys, I've got another new house introduction on the channel. It's ZERNELL GILLIE, and he's got 3 fragrances that I want to talk to you about. It's Disco here with the first fragrance, and we've got Techno here, the second fragrance, and then we've got Hip Hop, the latest fragrance here. So 3 dance or electronic music inspired fragrances created by a former DJ, or still a DJ, but he has launched his own fragrance line called ZERNELL GILLIE. So these 3 fragrances are great, especially with Disco being my favorite, because every time I go to Ministry of Scent, I smell this and I spritz it all over me. And with the summer warmth that we've been having, this stuff has great sillage and great longevity. It's also really super sexy smelling. But I'm going to tell you about these 3 fragrances, plus you'll get your chance at meeting ZERNELL GILLIE tomorrow at Ministry of Scent, as there is a launch event there for the latest release, Hip Hop. If you're around, you should go. And then there's some information about an after party as well. So find out about ZERNELL GILLIE's fragrances coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian. Are you familiar with ZERNELL GILLIE's fragrances? Have you gotten your nose on Disco yet? This stuff is so good. So when I first tested this fragrance, I didn't think twice about it because I tested it on a strip. Then when I came back to it over and over again, I started spraying it every time I go to Ministry of Scent. And I'd walk out and I could smell it when the wind blows against me. It's really great fragrance. Super sexy. And there's no mention of ambroxan or anything like that in this. But I get kind of like an amber ambroxan kind of a touch. And I think that's what's doing the sexiness for me. But in the end, it's a tea-focused fragrance. And I'm going to let you know all about it. But let me tell you a little bit details about the event tomorrow at Ministry of Scent. So tomorrow, September 9th, 2023, from 4 to 7 p.m. at Ministry of Scent, you can meet ZERNELL GILLIE. Sadly, I'm not going to be there. I'll tell you why. But you can meet ZERNELL GILLIE for the launch of the latest fragrance, Hip Hop. And then after that, at the Foundry, you can hear him spin his signature mix of house, techno, and disco. Man, I love electronic music. I love DJ culture. I kind of dabbled in it myself in the mid to late 90s. Love the stuff, and I like anything music, perfume, inspired together. So sad I'm going to miss the event as I'll be heading over to Europe. But if you guys are around, definitely head over to Ministry of Scent from 4 to 7 and check out these fragrances. And make sure you get your nose on disco, because disco is great. As genre, I love. The 70s tough all the way to now. Absolutely love. And then with techno, really love the stuff that came out in the early 90s. And then I really like the darker techno that's around now. Really enjoy that kind of music. And then hip-hop. Really love hip-hop beats. Anything that has a beat you can dance and groove to, I'm there. And as I said, I kind of dabbled into DJing and things like that in the mid to late 90s. So this is a great collection. But I'm going to talk to you about Disco first. ZERNELL GILLIE's Disco. So the 3 fragrances are Extrait de Parfum. So very long lasting. They come in 30 ml bottles and they're $110. And I have links to Ministry of Scent as they are sold at Ministry of Scent in San Francisco. This is, of course, disco music inspired, and it features notes of tea, amber, bergamot, lavender, saffron, vanilla, cardamom, patchouli, grapefruit, cedar, jasmine, tobacco, myrrh. Lots of notes credited, right? You do experience these notes. For me, this is not only an exciting and happy and uplifting fragrance, and it smells really great on me. So as I said, don't test it out on strip, test it on skin. Because for me, I dismissed it on strip, but I embraced it on skin. Man, it smells great. And like I said, every time I go in there, I'd spritz it all over because it's that good. It's very addicting kind of smell. But this is a tea-focused fragrance, and the tea has this kind of calming, soothing quality about it, but there's all kinds of things that are, moving around in the fragrance with all the different notes that appear and disappear, and it makes it for an, intoxicating, also exciting experience. But it is a very happy, uplifting fragrance. So the tea is there, but you've got lots of citruses in here with the bergamot and the grapefruit, right? Aromatics come in, lavender, and you've got also some saffron in here. And I think it's the saffron-amber combo that's kind of giving me like ambroxan-like vibes. Maybe there is something ambroxan-like in there, because ambroxan in the end creates an amber accord. And so you've got this interesting combo of amber, dry woods, and musk, and some light marine aquatic things happening. And I think it's because of the combo of saffron and amber, I'm getting this kind of very sexy combination of something like ambroxan. But along the way, you have spices like the saffron and cardamom, the aromatics. There is some sweetness with the vanilla. There's tobacco in here. It throws in a bit of a dirty ashiness. And then the patchouli with its sexy earthiness. This is a really, really great fragrance, guys. It's a freshie, but with some substance, right? You can wear this in the summertime. In the heat, it smells great. Again, it has great trail, great sillage. And I've been wanting to talk to you guys about this fragrance. Finally am. And for me, this fragrance is the highlight of this house. It is absolutely delicious. And if you like my taste, you're going to have to get your nose on disco. If you don't like the music, make sure you still check out disco, even though you might not like that genre. But what's not to like about disco, right? I'm absolutely obsessed with disco music, and now I'm obsessed with the fragrance as well. So Disco by ZERNELL GILLIE is great, great fragrance. I hope you guys get to try it. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick sniff for you on camera so you can tell you a little bit more about this fragrance. And if you have already gotten your nose on Disco, do let me know what you think about it. Definitely a wow. Again, it's tea, it's cozy, it's a bit smoky. Saffron leather, I think, comes in, provides a bit of leatheriness. The tobacco has a bit of, ashiness, but it's not like over the top. It's there, it supports it, but you're basically very much, wearing a tea, amber, bergamot, lavender, saffron, vanilla fragrance with spices and earthy notes and other citruses that come in. This smells really, really great. I don't know what it is, but I'm obsessed with it. And again, I told you it wears better on skin, but right now I do have it on. I'm wearing it, and I'm actually smelling it on here as well. So it is kind of smelling good on the strip as well. But for me, it's very, very addicting. And I think it's that whole kind of combination of ambroxan that's doing it. Because I'm actually a big fan of ambroxan. I like the usage of it in fragrances. It does have a kind of a very addictive quality, kind of like cocaine, right? But for me, it's the kind of fragrance note that just makes me keep wanting to smell it and wear it and things like that. And that fragrance does that to me. So next we've got one called Techno. This one right here. So Techno to me does wear like it's a Middle Eastern-esque oody woody kind of a floral spicy fragrance. This one also has red fruits, so there's that kind of brightness with the fruitiness of this fragrance, but the fragrance wears dark, and for me, when I'm wearing it, it does have a little bit of animalic funk, and I think it's from the leather. And for me, all the notes combined together do act like there is some oud in here, because it does wear like an oudy, woody, leather, amber, spicy, floral kind of a fragrance. So it has notes of red fruits, jasmine, leather, suede, pink pepper, patchouli, saffron, incense, sandalwood, lavender, amber, Spanish rock rose, which most likely is labdanum, tonka beans, bergamot, and sage. A lot of notes, right? Gosh, they're crediting all the notes, which I really, really like, because you get to really see how the fragrance is going to wear. Perhaps you don't like incense, and you saw incense in this fragrance in the notes, then you're going to be like, oh yeah, I probably not like it. I'll test it, but I probably won't like it. But come on, some of the brands are now releasing one top note, one heart note, one base note. How in the world are you supposed to figure out what the fragrance smells like? At least with this, you get to see all the different directions the fragrance is going to go. But it's red fruits, for sure has red fruitiness, and this adds the brightness along with the jasmine. But leather does kick in. There's leather, there's suede, and there's also saffron. Saffron helps the leather create a spicy, leathery edge to it. Saffron's leatheriness and the leather accord that they use in fragrances do kind of act differently, but they do support one another when it comes to the notes, in the fragrances. But this does get very spicy and a bit smoky, and then also very, very woody. And I think it's all these notes together does create an oud-like accord with leather, and it does act a bit like a Middle Eastern fragrance. I feel like if you're inspired by techno music, which can go very dark and energetic and really fast-paced, I think the inspiration is perfect here for this, because disco is very bright, happy kind of music, and that fragrance is bright and happy. Here we do have a darker kind of a fragrance, and so I think it fits the darker kind of notes they're using. But sure, there's some brightness, because it can get a bit bright here and there, but between the three fragrances, Techno is the darkest one, and unfortunately it's ranked at number 3 between the 3 fragrances, because I'm in love with Disco. I've been going back to it so long, and I'm so happy I'm talking about it today and telling you guys about it. We'll be featuring it in videos in the future. And then number 2 is Hip Hop. But let me go ahead and quickly smell Techno for you a little bit more, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. But if you've gotten your nose on Techno, do let me know. Do you enjoy wearing it? Very much like a very oody, woody, leathery, ambery, spicy fragrance. Light smokiness there. Remember I said Spanish rock rose does create an amber accord, and they also have amber combined with the Spanish rock rose. So it's basically labdanum, I believe. Spices, herbs, fruits, and flowers all come in here with a bit of incense smokiness. It's the red fruits that kind of adds this kind of a curveball to this fragrance. Otherwise, it would be just very dark, and having the red fruits in here does create a nice contrast, and it's a bit more inviting. Because lately, I've been more into brighter fragrances. Dark fragrances are a bit, I think, a bit too overwhelming for me. I think it's just because of my life. I'm a bit too much going on, so I want something more happy and uplifting rather than wearing darker fragrances. But I could see this satisfying a lot of folks that like dark, oody, leathery fragrances, and again, definitely matches that style of music. And then finally, the latest release from ZERNELL GILLIE, it's Hip Hop, the latest launch, and this is why the event's happening tomorrow at Ministry of Scent. If you're around or nearby, go check it out. Again, I will not be there, sadly. I'm going to miss, as I'll be away. But this fragrance is inspired by hip-hop music, and I myself really love hip-hop beats. I don't like the rapping as much as the beats themselves, because I'm into all the beats and noise and, you know, things you can groove to, kind of a thing. And this inspiration actually is quite good as well. Remember I said this is my second favorite, and this is a boozy gourmand. It has cognac, labdanum, dark chocolate, ambroxan, cacao, black currant, saffron, green notes, hedione, white musk, bergamot. This to me is a very smooth, boozy, chocolatey, creamy ride. So it does have ambroxan in the notes, where they credit it here, and I thought they had it in Disco, but they never credited it there. And I thought this fragrance would go dry, because ambroxan to me creates a dryness. In the end, it's a kind of a combination of dusty woods, amber, musk, and some like light marinish aquatic touches. Because in the end, it's inspired by ambergris. They don't smell alike whatsoever. And I love ambroxan. Ambergris, if it's not animalic, I can tolerate it, but it does create a funk. So, but again, I enjoy both notes. Much prefer ambroxan. And here, it does create a bit of a dryness, but in the end, the fragrance is very creamy, smooth. And if you like fragrances like Jazz Club, that does have that creamy factor. It's a, you know, boozy kind of a tobacco fragrance. And this has that kind of creamy factor, but this is a lot more interesting and a lot more enjoyable than Jazz Club is. This has the chocolatey touches. They've added dark chocolate and cacao as well, which kind of accentuates all the chocolatiness in here. But in the end, cognac, labdanum, dark chocolate, ambroxan, cacao, these are what's really running the show here. It's a very chocolatey, smooth, creamy, ambery, boozy, musky fragrance. Along the way, there's some, there's some fruitiness that comes in. The blackcurrant provides that. And there's some, leatheriness and spiciness from the saffron. Sure, you'll notice some greenness. It is running throughout the fragrance, lightly though, not very prominently. There's a bit of floralcy from the jasmine-like qualities of the hedione. Yeah, sure, it's clean and musky as well. And of course, it does have some freshness from bergamot. But in the end, again, it's very, very cozy. This is a very cozy fragrance. I think this does match hip-hop as well. I think all the fragrances do match the actual genre of music. And again, this is my second favorite from the line. Definitely very boozy and chocolatey. So let's go ahead and smell hip-hop. Let me know if you've gotten your nose on hip-hop. It just came out, by the way. Oh yeah, there's booziness here, very much ambery, some spice as well, and I'm getting the leather, and I'm also getting the green, but it's not as strong as the dark chocolate and the cacao-like qualities here. But the booze is prominent, it's very, very boozy, and the labdanum, I think, is creating a creamy factor. Very, very cozy, very soothing. I think this will be a great autumn fragrance. Launching at the right time. We're headed to autumn, and I think this will come in to satisfy people that want this kind of warmth from the booziness and the amber and the dark chocolate, cacao. This is definitely going to satisfy. Really, really wonderful. Hip Hop is the third and final ZERNELL fragrance I'm talking about today. So guys, let me know your thoughts on this line. Are you familiar with this house? Let me know, put some comments down below. And after watching this video, which one sounds the best to you? Again, Disco is my favorite. Really, really love this one. I think I'm going to take this to on my trip to Europe. I'm going to wear it everywhere I can. It's a nice small bottle you can travel with. It doesn't weigh a lot, and you know, just keep wearing it and have people react to my scent here and there, because it does leave a great trail. I think all of these fragrances are loud enough. They will leave a nice trail depending on the kind of trail you want. And they're also long-lasting because they are Extrait de Parfum. But let me know which one sounds great to you. Put a comment down below so I can find out. And if you are around in San Francisco and can go, please go and go to Ministry of Scent and meet ZERNELL GILLIE for the launch of Hip Hop. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching today. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.